Hi, I'm Amanda. Today's a targeted class. We'll be focusing on our wrists, our fingers, our hands. We want to keep our mobility within our hands. That helps us with everyday actions. So today's 15-minute class will hopefully offer you some exercises that you can do to keep you moving on a day-to-day basis. But we'll get started first by just a little bit of relaxation, a little bit of meditation and a bit of breathing to help us. So sitting on a chair, I'm on a bolster, but just getting comfortable is important. Making sure that you're feeling, if you are on the chair, you're in the back of the chair. And sitting up nice and straight and tall if you're on a bolster or in easy pose. And just closing your eyes. And we're going to take a couple of breaths here. So, bringing your focus to your mind's eye. Breathing in. And as you breathe out, just allow any thoughts that might be invading your mind just to release on the out breath. Breathing in. And give yourself permission to be here for the next 15 minutes as you breathe out. And then very gently opening your eyes. And we'll start straight away with our hands and our arms. So bringing your hands out in front of you. We're just going to warm up the shoulders and the elbows. So palms facing down. We're going to rotate our palms initially facing each other. And then we're going to take them towards the ceiling. And then see if you can rotate the hands a little bit further, opening the shoulders. Bring the palms back, facing you. And then rotate them so the backs of the hands are together. We'll do that again. So just bringing a little bit more flow to the action. Rotating the hands. And you'll be warming up the shoulders as well. Bring your hands, palms facing the ceiling. And then all you're going to do is bring your hands and fingers to your shoulders, just warming up the elbows. And a little repeating action. Leave your hands at your shoulders and bring your elbows out to the side. We're going to warm up the shoulders just by doing small circles with the elbows going backwards or clockwise, anti-clockwise, however you want. And if you want to make it a little bit more dynamic, or you can increase the size of the circle. If that's not within your practice or you're feeling a little bit stiff, just bring it down and keep it small. Let's go the other way. So bringing the elbows forward and then bringing that to stillness. Lowering your hands down. So we're going to work on our shoulders and we're going to do some breathing in again. So I'm going to use my breath to move my shoulders. Breathing in, I'm going to lift my shoulders up nice and high. And breathing out, bring them down into the back. Breathing in, bring them up. And breathing out and lower them into the back. And then when you're here, just to press them slightly into the back. So lowering the shoulders, activating the shoulder blades, the side muscles. And then release and give them a shake. Let's focus on our hands now. So bring our hands out. We're going to work on our wrists. I want you to bring your fingertips towards the ceiling and feel the energy pushing through the heel of the hand. And then lowering the fingertips down to the floor, feeling the energy again at the heel of the hand. And then up towards the ceiling, down towards the floor, up towards the ceiling and down towards the floor. And then maybe take that a little bit faster with a little more flow, easing out the wrists. And then bring them palms facing the floor. And now we're just going to have an imaginary table that we're wiping from side to side, warming up the wrists, easing out some stiffness. Good. And then some small circles just to relieve any tension that we might be holding there. I want you to take your right hand and place the left hand palm facing. The right hand is very gently going to just pull those fingers back slightly. So we're going to feel an increased stretch. Again, in the forearm and in the wrist. Just go at your own pace and then release that, and we'll do that the other side. So taking the left hand and place them on the right fingers, and then just gently pulling that hand back. And then release. Give the hands a bit of a shake, release any tension. And now we're going to do finger by finger. So I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to pull back my first finger on my left. And then the middle finger. And then the fourth finger. And then the little finger. And then the thumb, just pulling that back slightly. And then we'll go the other side. My right hand is facing the ceiling. I'm going to take my first finger and gently pulling that back. Middle finger. Fourth finger. And fifth finger. And then my thumb, gently pulling that back. And then give the hands and the shoulders a little bit of a shake out to ease any tension. We're going to come and use our fingers now. We're warming the fingers up. I want you to come to a fist here and just gently squeeze the hands. I know this might be uncomfortable for some, but you're really trying to create that fist. And then opening the hands nice and wide, stretching the fingers, closing into a fist, and then opening the hands nice and wide. Let's do that with an action. So I've got my palms facing out, and then I'm going to bring my elbows in, and I'm going to create a fist, pulling my fists back to my waist as much as I can. So I'm using my shoulders as well. Bring my arms out, and then bring the fists back to my waist. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Last time, inhale and exhale. Great. And then bring the hands out in front of you. Shake the shoulders. Let's focus on our hands again. So I want us to have an imaginary piece of paper that we're doing. In yoga, we use mudras. They're a hand gesture, and we often use these with pranayama. But they're really good at articulating your hands and your fingers. So a lot of these exercises use these. So I want you to have an imaginary piece of paper between your thumb and your first finger. And we're stretching the fingers out. And then we're going to do that again with the middle finger. Imaginary bit of paper, long. And then the fourth finger. And then the little finger. And then we're going to reverse that back. So bring the fourth finger to the thumb, middle finger, first finger, and then open the fingers nice and wide and wiggle them. We'll do that again. Thumb and first finger, thumb and middle, thumb and fourth, thumb and fifth. Reversing that back, thumb and first, thumb and middle, thumb and first, and giving them a little wiggle. Good. So we're going to use our fingers again, and this time I want us to try to bend the fingers so that the pads of the fingers are touching the inside of the finger, and remembering to bring in your thumb as well. So I'm trying to create not a fist because I'm not bending them down. I'm keeping my fingers upright at the finger joints and bringing them in. And then opening them out. Let's do that again. Bring them in, squeeze, and then open them out. Bringing them in. There's a little bit of concentration for me. And then out, one more. Bringing them in, squeezing and out. Give the hands a shake. This time I want you to take your thumb to the pad in the first finger. So thumb and first finger together. Thumb and middle. Thumb and fourth, and thumb and little, and then reversing that back. So I'm feeling the muscles stretching the fingers, and I'm using my thumb muscles too. One more, open out, one more time. Thumb and first, thumb and middle, thumb and fourth, and thumb and fifth. Coming back. Good. And open. Give them a shake. And this time we're going to bend the fingers at the knuckle joints. So I'm going to bend my fingers at the knuckle joints, and I want to see if I can create a table. So I'm using those knuckle joints, keeping my fingers together, almost to try and keep a table. And then I'm opening them nice and wide. Let's do that again, keeping the fingers long, bending at the knuckle joint, bringing them down. And then opening up, and then giving the hands a shake. Good. So we'll just finish off with some everyday movements that we might want to use. And these everyday actions are really useful to keeping your fingers mobilized. So we're going to start off with our jam jar. So I'm going to have an imaginary jam jar in my hand, and I'm grabbing the top and I'm grabbing the base, and I'm just going to twist my jam jar up and down, rotating the wrists and the fingers. And then I'm going to tip it up. So I've got my left hand on top now. And then I'm bringing that forward and back, rotating. And then bring the hands together. My jam jar is horizontal now. And I'm rotating together again, using the fingers and the wrists and rotating them. Excellent. This time I want you to have an imaginary key. And you're creating the action that you did last time, but we're going to put it in a very tiny lock. And we're just going to turn it one way and turn the other. And I'm keeping my fingers nice and spread, rotating the key in the lock. And again, rotating the hand, using the shoulder to do so. And then we'll do that on the other side. So take an imaginary key, tiny key, in a tiny lock. My fingers are spread. I've got my first finger and thumb flat. And I'm just gently going to rotate it one way and the other way. And bring it back. So we'll do one last exercise, asana, and it's a nice flow. So we're going to take our hands, just to finish with, our hands are by our side, breathing in, lifting our hands up. Our hands are going to meet in a prayer position above us, and we're gently going to bring our hands down. And I want you to push the heels of the hands together. One last time, breathing in, bringing our hands as high as we can. Breathe out, our hands come to heart center into Anjali Mudra, and we just gently push the heels of the hands together and then down. So we're just going to finish with a quiet guided relaxation. So I want you to take your hands and create a mudra. You're going to place your thumb and your first finger together. And we're going to do a little bit of breathing or pranayama to end. So closing your eyes and breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, and feel the body relax. In through the nose, out through the mouth, and feel the shoulders and arms relax. And then just take a couple of moments for yourself. And then gently blinking your eyes open, releasing your hands. And we'll finish with a namaste. So bring your hands together in a prayer and we say namaste. Thank you, and I hope you can use this on a day-to-day basis to help.